I'm Marcel-Jan Krijgsman. Very short introduction. I'm a data engineer at Transfer Solutions in Leerdam. And I've made a change to data engineering in 2017 and really liked it. Also do a lot of Python. Yeah, I did a previous talk at a Python conference, so there's some Python in there. Anyway, this is my hobby. Okay, here's what I wanted to do. I'm a data engineer, and when people ask me, customers ask me, we want a new data platform, what shall we choose? Usually my answer was, well, Microsoft Fabric is kind of nice. Maybe we should do that. And also I had previous employers also said, Azure. Okay. And then the voices got louder that maybe going all in on the US clouds maybe not such a good idea. I think we already had other presentations here that made that pretty clear. So I was thinking, is it possible to have a data platform in the European cloud? So first of all, maybe you're not all data engineers, I suppose. Who here is data engineer, by the way? Yeah, very little. Okay, one, I think. So that means that I have to explain a little bit about that. So what is data engineer? So what we do is we get source data from source applications, and there's all kind of valuable information in that, but to get that, we need to extract that data, clean it up, make sure that all the data types are correct, lovingly data model it in a way that the business says, okay, now I have a dimension client which has the clients, and we all understand that these are the clients and what client means. And that's a wonderful job, by the way. It's, currently, at my current customer, we went through a whole process, took a lot of time, but then suddenly everybody thinks like, so I can ask that question and that question, so that's fun to do. But for that you need, well, you might need a data platform. I would prefer to have one. So what does a data platform look like? So you have a system, you get source data. That can be APIs, databases, files even. And you need to ingest that data, as we call it. So you get the source data into your data platform. That data needs to get stored somewhere. That can be a data lake and data warehouse. I'll explain a little bit more about that. And then you're going to process that. You can transform that, maybe put all the amounts in the same currency, or have a currency column next to it so that people can select what currency or have that kind of stuff. And then people want to see graphs, basically, reports, dashboards, and that's the end part of it. And maybe not even there, because maybe also have a team of data scientists who said, okay, well, now we have the data, now we can do predictions and all that kind of stuff. Also nice to have are things like orchestration, like we get the data in, but okay, what you don't want is that you get the data in one time and then suddenly something breaks and some some business people have to tell me, why is the customer data no newer than last week? And oh, the thing broke. Okay, so we need some monitoring. Data quality is also interesting. I'm really, yeah. So you want to see, like, currently I'm working on location data, and turns out the location data as in there with user input, so you have all kinds of mistakes in there, so you need to do stuff with that, but detect that also is very important. Security would also be very nice, right? We have all customer data or civilians, we want to protect that, so good security, that's also something we want to have. Now, so like I said, there are wonderful solutions in the US clouds. Microsoft Fabric is often the thing we choose in our work. Databricks, that's both in Azure and AWS, by the way. There's also Snowflake. I won't bore you with all the details, but they're solutions, but they're American solutions. And okay, we discussed this a couple of times in other sessions today, but that is not a good idea. Just one thing, we have about data, customer data, and you put them in an American cloud, and in theory, when that US cloud provider has that data in there, and the US government says, I want to look at that data, they, under the US cloud provider, under the US Cloud Act, needs to give access to the data, and also they don't need to tell you about it, that is happening, which is like, luckily, we're like, luckily nothing is happening because we don't get a notification of that. And of course, we also had the thing about the ICC where the Outlook was suddenly turned off for the main accuser, and okay. So if someone in the White House doesn't like you, they can also shut the whole thing down. So, do we have European alternatives? There's a site called europeanalternatives.eu. It looked a bit like that this was provided by the European Commission or something. Not quite. It's maintained by a guy in Vienna called Konstantin Graf. It's a really nice overview of all kinds of categories of clouds that you can have. There are things like photo sharing and that kind of stuff, but that's not what I'm looking for. By the way, there's also another site, because last time I gave this presentation, this talk, people said, I worked for a European cloud provider, I tried to get my stuff in there, but the guy doesn't respond. So I've been also looking for other overviews of European tech things. There's also European Tech Map, apparently. Well, I've looked through all their offerings, and it looks very nice what they have, but is there really a data platform in there? Not quite. They do have all kinds of parts of the puzzle. They have managed databases. I can do some data engineering in a database. They have Kubernetes, the object storage, they have some form of identity access management. But Microsoft Fabric, or with all things in there, or Databricks, not really. Well, there's an exception now, because I check everything every time there's new stuff available. OVH Cloud in France now has a product called Data Platform, and we can have a look at that. I'm not sure how much time I have left for demos, but I have some demos in mind, so we can have a look at that if we have time. And that does have a data lakehouse. It does have analytics. It does even have a data catalog. You're maybe wondering what that all means. Well, let's not go too much in detail, but there is a solution apparently now. So that's for the first time. What I'm looking for in a data lake, so there's a data lakehouse. I'll explain in a moment what that is. SQL databases, Jupyter notebooks, and preferably Jupyter notebooks. You can get these. So you can type Python code in there, run it, and have markdown notation in between. In Microsoft Fabric, that's really nice. I was really happy with that solution there. So I want something like that. But I want to have one that I can share with my team, so that when I create a data pipeline where we get the source data in, and I type the Python code in that Jupyter notebook, that when I go on holiday and next day my colleague is looking at that, they can see not only, oh, there's his code, but also with the markdown knowledge, you can really nicely document this step is doing this, and then that is happening. I really like that. There's also some low-code solutions in Microsoft Fabric, like Data Factory. Fun fact, there's Data Factory in Microsoft Fabric, but there's also Azure Data Factory, and they're not the same. The Data Factory in Microsoft Fabric has less debug options, which really gets me nuts. I want debug. And I have Power BI for analytics. So that's what the US Cloud data platform looks like, kind of. A little bit of explanation, because you're not data engineers. So what is data lakehouse? Well, it's when a data lake and a data warehouse come together. Data warehouses, I'll join you into a little thing that nobody tells you, but data warehouses are basically relational databases that you use for your data. But you need one that can handle a lot of data, because you get all that source data, and that can be a lot. And you even want to keep a history of that data. So when somebody changes address, you just create a new record that says the new address for this user is, client is now this, but the previous one is also as a record in there. Usually database tables. Then 10 years ago, the big tech companies said, we get annoyed by this because with database tables, you have a structure that you always need to adhere to. And so when our source data suddenly has a new column, you get an error. So they said, isn't there a way just to get the unstructured data in there? So they came up with the data lake, and it's basically a distributed file system. So with compute on that, so where you can do all kinds of stuff. But if you say, oh, this job getting through all this source data is taking so long, you throw more nodes to it, throw more compute at it, and then it gets faster usually. Exceptions pending. And the data lakehouse is basically half the both of both worlds. So you have a SQL layer on there that allows you to SQL. A lot of people know SQL, so you can have database like tables, and but you also can throw in unstructured data because underwater it's still that unstructured. That's still a distributed file system. So that's the data lakehouse. And the funny thing is, if I was thinking, I'm pretty sure that's all existing in open source. And basically, a lot of large parties are using that open source. So I was thinking, I should be able to build it myself. If I have a couple of components, like Kubernetes, object storage, open table formats, that is all open source. Open table formats is basically like, okay, we have these files on that distributed file system. How these translate to the database table that I do my SQL on. There's a certain formats, there's a Parquet file format underneath it. And Apache Spark, that's also open source and exists already for quite a long time. It's kind of a industry standard. So you can, if you know, if you have tried with Python to get data in a data frame in pandas, Spark is a bit like the big brother that can scale and everything. I thought I needed to explain Kubernetes because I do this for other audiences as well, and not all data engineers know Kubernetes, but I think most people know Kubernetes. If you don't know, nobody's saying, hell, stop. Okay, then we can go quickly through that, and we have more time for demos. So basically what I did in my proof of concept thing is, so I have the object storage where I put my files in. I have a open source data catalog that's called Nessie, where I can define the tables. Nessie tells, okay, you want this table, and that's this file underneath. Nicely extracted for you. And there's Trino, that's a query engine that's also distributed, so it's also very scalable. Also, I want to have some analytics and Spark. Yes, Power BI is not open source, but a lot of data analysts are using Power BI, so I was thinking it might not be a good idea to say, well, Power BI is not possible, but there are open source solutions like Apache Supersets. And also, what does the business care that there's Power BI underneath? If you can make them with supersets, maybe that's the solution as well. Well, something to find out further. So, my self-built data lakehouse. So, the theory was there. Now I wanted to build it. But I had a couple of rules. Because I had some people said, oh, you're going to build this? Or actually, no, I told nobody, and then I sort of built it, and then I said, it's done, it's working on the European cloud. And people said, but did you know that there are also sovereign solutions in the US cloud? I'm thinking, now, okay, let's just be clear. I want to use European clouds, because I also think that it would be very good that we get better at this in Europe. And it must be a cloud solution. There's the funny thing, that's where the European clouds are not really that strong. Because they say, here's my credit card, can I start a Kubernetes cluster? There are a lot of European cloud providers that say, you need to talk to our sales representative first. I'm thinking, no, that's not how cloud works. I just want to here's my credit card. I'm grown up. I'm a big boy. And if I'm doing anything wrong and my bill's too big, then okay, sucks to be me. Don't want to make it too complex because I have a limited brain. And I want to have enterprise level security. So basically, I don't want to, if I give access to things in my data lakehouse, I don't want to say, and Bill and Karen and everybody. No, I want to have a group. These are data engineers. These are data analysts. And put people in there. And if someone goes out of the company, then you just put them out of the group, and then it should work. Also, rule, AI assist is okay. Because yes, there are wonderful documentation about these things, and then I try it, and then the frustration starts because, why is the connection not working? Why am I still getting an error in the Kubernetes pod? So I use Cloud Code, basically like, hey, Cloud Code, there's an error in my log, and I said, oh, I think you need to change your Helm chart. Helm chart is where the Kubernetes thing is defined. And shall I change the config file? Yeah, sure, go ahead. And then shall I apply it to the Kubernetes cluster? Sure, go ahead. And then I just looked at it. It's just like an experienced Kubernetes admin is helping me out, getting this sorted. And in no time, I had a thing that was working. So that's all working. That is all possible now. But what cloud provider in Europe? Well, the real cloud providers, stand up, please. Well, I tried a couple. Actually, the first one I tried was Skillway. It was just happened to be on top of the list in European alternatives. That kind of pays. So I tried them. It's a French provider, formerly online.net, apparently. They have data centers in France, the Netherlands, Poland, apparently also somewhere in Italy, but your Kubernetes clusters cannot be in Italy, I think, yet. And they really look cloud-like. Actually, there was a direct hit. I got everything working. They also have kind of data analytics offering, so they also have some stuff, but not really a data platform in the sense that I want to have it. This is what it looks like. I can show you later in a demo. OVH Cloud, this is interesting. There's also a French cloud provider. What is it? They're all French. I don't know. They exist already for quite a long time. They have data centers in Europe, also in North America for some reason, but I really hope, haven't checked all the legal stuff, but I assume that when I put my Kubernetes cluster in Amsterdam, Donald Trump does not get his greasy mitts on my stuff. Interesting here, I tried them all as far as was possible. You get €200 free credit, so that's cool. That's like a real cloud provider. But your first payment, I tried to apply my payment method. So here's my credit card, and I said, credit card not validated. Okay, PayPal not validated. My bank account not validated. And I think it's got something to do. My first name is Marcel -Jan, and I think, and on my passport it's without the hyphen sign. I think it's got something to do. I had no problems before with that. I also told them so, but then later I tried it with my business mail account as an account name. So just tried a new account, and then suddenly it worked. So okay, fine. So then I was off to the races, and here's some screenshots. The data platform really has a lot of stuff. It's just finished March, April, and they have all kinds of things in there. There is a data lakehouse, there is analytics, they have a lot of source possibilities to get your source data in, even FTP and a whole shebang. You don't even see the half of it. There's a lot of stuff in here, so that's good. Another cloud provider, there's a Dutch cloud provider, they call Leaf Cloud. I think, okay, got to try that one. So here, this is an interesting one. They're based in the Netherlands, but they don't have data centers. So you might be thinking, how's that working? Well, they have a different solution. They have server racks, and they install it in buildings, and they use the heat from the server racks as a source of energy. So they have some kind of story on their website that they put it in a nursing home. So somewhere in the the maintenance room, they put this stuff, heats their water. So now they have hot water from your Kubernetes cluster. That's kind of nice. So I tried that and offered my credit card, said yes, accepted, okay, good. Start Kubernetes cluster. Error. Error. Why? Push the button, click somewhere. You're out of quota. What quota? And then turns out I basically, via this interface, have to talk to a sales representative. Can I have more quota? No, that's not how it's supposed to work. So then, but they answered fairly quickly, but it's not like up to the minutes response, like you understand. Some human has to say, okay, yeah, that guy gets more. But I didn't have time to work on that. That Leaf Cloud Kubernetes cluster, so I was thinking, it's not running, I'll look at it later. I have other things I want to try. And then this week, the bill came, and I got a €130 bill, like thinking, why, how, this is possible? So I need to talk to some Leaf Cloud people about that. I mean, I didn't start anything, so yeah. Anyway, but I think the idea is nice, using the server heat to use the energy like that. Their site is fairly technical. If you like that sort of thing, great. But I think most cloud providers have a little bit simplified look for that. But I mean, the URLs. I mean, okay, fine. But it works. Then I got a lot of people who said, have you tried the little cloud? I think little cloud. And it's called Stackit. So I think, okay, it's not in the European alternatives for some reason on the list, but they exist because the Dutch government is now doing business with them. So thinking, maybe I can do business with them as well. So they're actually, indeed, they are the IT division of Lidl that became a separate company, that became a cloud provider. And they have data centers in Germany and Austria, so good. I happened to read an article this week that they rather heavily rely on Google Workspaces, so it's still not entirely non-US, I guess. Well, never mind, I wanted to try it. So, create an account, I need a customer account. Oh, I need to enter my company name. And I need a VAT ID, and I need to hereby confirm that I'm authorized to conclude legally effective contract. I think, I'm not sure my employer thinks that I'm really authorized. I'm still trying within our company to say, hey, can you help me out? I promise I won't spend a lot of euros, but I want to try this out. So this is what. So basically, these are the cloud EU cloud providers. I've tried Scaleway. I've tried OVH Cloud. I tried their data platform. Gridscale is a German cloud provider. They're now part of OVH Cloud. But when I looked on their website, I think a month ago, they were still a hosting provider. It was like, call now for, no, we're not going to call. Sorry, I have other cloud providers to try. So Leaf Cloud, basically, they have Kubernetes, they have blocks, object storage, but are they really will I really be able to build data catalogs and have identity access management? I'm not so sure about that. Click to buy, like I showed you. I also looked at Open Telecom Cloud, German Telecom, big telecom provider. Sorry, hosting provider. I call your sales people now. Elastics in Sweden, same thing. So that's what I've tried up to now. And I'm sure that there are all kinds of new EU clouds popping up. I'm happy to try them. But this is as far as I went with that. So, demo time. Quick prayer for the demo gods. They're not fuck this up. Let's see. Do I get... am I able to share my screen? Or am I only showing... do you need to turn off the PowerPoint? Ah, yeah, okay, we're there. A bit bigger. So this is Skillway. It's when you know cloud providers, you know this is not so special, but it's actually great that it really looks like it. They really copied the other cloud providers quite nicely, I have to say. So here you have all the products they have. You have the block storage that I want. They have the containers, the Kubernetes. They have even have serverless. They have a lot more databases, and IAM they also have. So what you here see is my Kubernetes cluster based in Amsterdam. And what I really do for these demos, what I usually do is I keep the Kubernetes cluster running, but that's I have a version with a little bit more compute and a little bit more memory, because I found out my applications were struggling to get working, so I need a little bit more power. But what I then do shortly before, after a demo, I rip out all the compute, so I'm not paying for that anymore. And the next presentation, the evening before, I put a pool with compute in there, and that's this one. So this is a developer pool, a pool with compute. It's cheaper. This one is 106 euros per month, so definitely won't keep that running. So what I did is, and this definitely has to be bigger. So let's do that. So I have some Helm charts that tell me how the things need to run on the Kubernetes cluster. I won't go into details about that. I run all that because it takes some time for everything to start up before I can show anything. And then, I need to do the port forwarding, otherwise you will not see anything. And then if, let's see, this looks like it's still working. So I won't run it live because it takes too much time, but I have here you see my Python code. Oh yeah, that's happening. Okay, let's restart, no problem. Okay. Yeah, that's what demos are sometimes like, no problem. So what I put in there is Jupyter Hub as for my Jupyter notebooks, where I can put my Python code in, make my SQL queries and all that. And I have what I did, I put I need of course some data to play with. Turns out the European Parliament has an API. They have all kinds of data, open data, so you can get that via their API. So I did that. Won't bore you with all the details, but they have here data Europa.eu. I got a list of all the current members of parliament, which you can get. Created a table. Got the data from the API. This is very basic, of course, but it's nice that it works. Read all the data, so they have something like 700 members of parliament from all kinds of countries. And then I got it in a data frame, stored it in a data table, and that looks something like that. But the funny thing is, it's like a database, so I can also connect with that with dbeaver, which is a database tool that a lot of us like to use. And so, and the funny thing is, members of parliament, you can. People say sometimes it's we would like to talk to members of our democracy, like the Americans can call their member of Congress. And turns out in Europe you can also do that. These are the members of Parliament. You can, for example, here see. I'm going to filter on Netherlands. Little waiting. These are all the Dutch members of Parliament that I got from the API, and yeah. And you can call them, and you can say, hey, this bill should be different. I know some things about data or about open source, and you can get in contact with them. So there's that. So that is what I got in Skillway. Here's OVH Cloud. I hope still have my connection. Nope. Wait a minute. Yeah. So they have a thing called data platform. Yeah, this should be visible, I guess. So they have, this is a complete solution. They really worked hard on it, I have to say. They have connectors. So if you go to the connectors and you say, oh, yeah, I should still be in my projects. Hopefully. Yeah, okay, I have one project. You can have here sources, and you can say, I want a new source, and just, there's an endless list of things you can use as data sources in this. So for me, this is kind of a dream, except that I rather want to write it in Python. But again, I'm not really a GUI kind of guy, but there's a lot of stuff in here. And yeah, so you can then go to the lakehouse manager, and there should be a table that I created. So there's a, yeah, here we are in the, yeah, there should be a data set that's called Euro Parliament, and we have the table that I just showed, that what I just showed in dbeaver was in Scaleway, but this is in OVH Cloud. It did the same exercise, so yeah, there's that. So that looks interesting. I'm still looking into that. They also luckily have Jupyter notebooks, so I can do the same exercise I just did on the OVH Cloud. I have Leaf Cloud. They also are pretty serious. Oh, yeah, that's always the thing with this should work. Yeah, there we go. Second try. So here's putting the code here. I'm not really worried about this. Okay. So here you have the Leaf Cloud side. We have OpenStack. So apparently you can do stuff with that. Unfortunately, I'm not very well known in OpenStack. And here we have Kubernetes. And you get apparently a Gardener dashboard, and you can log in. And last demo, this didn't work. And you can see, this is kind of annoying. My cluster, my Kubernetes cluster that I said, oh, delete, that's paying too much. I tried to delete, and it's still, for some reason, it's still in there. Delete failed. So yeah, I'm wondering if the meter is still running on that one. But yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to show you. Oh, let's get that's back, because I had a little bit more to say. Oh, by the way, if you want to try that, all my config files and my Jupyter notebook is on GitHub. Sorry, not on 4Jo. Still have to work on that. So data platform on OVH Cloud we just tried. Some final thoughts. Yeah, I had some final thoughts. So there are a couple of things here. European cloud providers, they have all kinds of pieces of the puzzle, but they should just click them together and give a data platform offering. That would be really nice. Also, become actual cloud providers, like here's my credit card, go. That would be really nice. I used as open source notebook Jupyter Hub. It really looks dated, so we might want to look. Yeah, I'm not good enough as a developer to just quickly change that, even with cloud code in the pocket. But that's a thing. A couple of things I'm working on myself. I've been playing around with that with OVH Cloud to see if I can really get from outside connections and that kind of stuff. This does seem to work. I already managed to use PySpark in there. And there's some other actions that I want to try. I want to try to build data lakehouse in Leaf Cloud, but preferably first I want to see that if I delete it, that's really gone and I'm not paying anything. But another thing that just came up with me last night when I prepared this talk, I was thinking, wouldn't it be nice if we could have some kind of open source data platform solution that you can just roll out and everything is there. The data lakehouse, the Jupyter notebooks, the data catalog. I think that should be possible. And maybe I can try bits and pieces of that, but maybe there are some very smart people in here that say, I think I know where you want to go and maybe I can help. So if you are that person, come this direction after the talk. Yeah. Oh, and you can read all about all the steps I went through on my blog. So there's a QR code that brings you to the first part. And yeah, you can find me on LinkedIn and on Mastodon and probably somewhere else that I forgot. Oh yeah, no, it's just, okay. Oh, that's true, yeah, true, sorry.
Are there any questions?
Or are you completely glazed over? What the hell, what happened here?
So one question for me. So you're showing you can use various clouds, but it all seems like not a production use case,
yeah,
right? It's almost, yeah.
True.
So yeah, what is the idea to
I
when you are
think
willing to do really production? And
the more I've been talking to all kinds of people working in open source, the more I think about it, there should be a way to create an open source data platform solution that you, like I just said, maybe you just can roll out, maybe in the cloud, maybe on premise, whenever that's necessary. That would be nice, but that would be, yeah, I would be happy to work on that. I'm also thinking, oh man, another hobby, but yeah, that would be a nice direction. And I really think if we can build that and make it a robust system, that would be very interesting for all kinds of parties. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. And one small remark, because under every slide I see company confidential.
Yeah, okay.
But I guess that's not really applicable.
No, it's true. And if it were up to me, I already moved it, but there's apparently some kind of ISO standard that says that we need to do that. So, okay. It's a small
compliance.
Thing. Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Feedback should be gone.
If there are no other questions, I think one question, Bart. I would say we have a break till 4. But
a small remark regarding little IT. Schwarz, they are using NetApp for their storage. So that's not publicly. They don't announce it. The Dutch government didn't find this, but they do acknowledge it. Whether it's, well, how do you call it, separated by air-gapped, that's not clear. And then regarding your last question, are there any platforms? I would also look at the cloud native platform. There are so many projects there. Maybe there's something that fits your question, and maybe work on from there.
Thank you. I'll have a look. Well, if that's all, then
Then
you're off early.
just need to give you a small present.
Thank you.
Yeah.